everyone, my Worker Seagull has landed. Looks like it's been a rough flight, but it landed. I'm your host Dave, welcome to that. The Worker Seagull. It's a blaster that I ain't going to be the first one reviewing, I'm probably going to be the last, but I was keeping myself away from this blaster because it was a bit too much of the same as my Harrier. Before I go on with the review, little disclaimer, this blaster was sent to me for free by Bayou Blaster. Nonetheless, my opinions are my own and my review is going to stay the same. As for the state of the box, I am not holding Bayou Blaster responsible. This thing was shipped in its original box, wrapped in a plastic bag, so it's either shipping or just CBSA, because yes, CBSA opened this thing again, so I kind of fear they open it and assemble it and plink with it, because the box looked like it's been stuffed in any kind of weird way. So let's go to the table, open this thing up, and then try it out. Well, like I said, the box is in pretty poor shape. It's been crushed, it's been smashed. Hopefully everything is in, nothing is missing, and everything is in working order. And another thing, I hope it's not that purple, because this thing is supposed to be khaki. Before we start, a huge thank you to Bayou Blaster for sending me this blaster. This way I'll be able to make myself an enlightened opinion on this new thing. Now, let's open the box and make sure everything is inside. The darts, some parts. Ooh, it's been roughed up. My new Hurt magazine, barrel and spring, the rear receiver with the apparently a spring and the plunger already installed inside. Some other part we're gonna check out later. The instruction, where we have weird coloring, orange part everywhere. I guess this is gonna be the plastic version. So I hope I'm having metal rail on this thing. The rest of the part, the front receiver, and yeah, one rail. Probably others in here. Good. So looks like I got the metal rail on my blaster. And the color is a bit more dark than I was expecting. When I saw other review of the khaki version, it was more of a light beige. So in that box we had the blaster separated in two parts. 2 pack of accessory, I guess it's the mounting gear, the tools and everything. The Picatinny rails made out of metal. The brand new curved 12 round Talon magazine. Not sure I hate those. They have very good smooth construction. I hope mine is in good shape. Some instruction, a spare spring and barrel for adjusting the velocity and the range and the accuracy on it, a pack of worker dart. Let me open those pack so we can put this blaster together. And yeah, I guess the shape of my box was pretty much CBSA. They just remove everything from it and shove everything back. And we all know that with Worker Blaster, you need to put them in the exact same order they put it. Otherwise, they don't fit the box. Good, so this is the scar and the stubby priming grip. My best guess, those are the screws, the sights, let me open this. I hear hardware. Screws, O-ring, hardware, the scar, and for whatever reason another Allen key, which doesn't seem like the same one on it. Maybe it's for the grip. Okay, perfect. So all the tools are here. Gotta say, those fiber optic sights are rather nice. all put back together, and this thing is awesome. I mean, it's super smooth, rather keeps it sealed right out of the box. I didn't have that much to do on it to render it functional, just assemble it. Plus there is a longer spring apparently and a longer barrel. This is a 31cm barrel, pretty much the exact same barrel that came with the Harrier. That's an option, so I guess I won't have to use maybe this one. I'm gonna have to use the other one, which I swap from time to time. But yeah, it could give a nice profile to this blaster. I will try it later. And this spring, which look like, how long is it? That's a 28cm spring. So I guess the one inside is either 25 or under it. We're gonna check that out when I'm gonna swap it. But for now, let's take a better look at this blaster. I gotta say, this thing just look dazzling. This is way shorter than the Harrier. This Seagull really feel like Worker take on the Valkyrie, and I like that. This pump action Springer blaster with a 12 round magazine. My small complaint will be this magazine is not clear. I really love to be able to watch if I got any dart left. Nonetheless, I love the fact that they didn't put the Worker name on the side of this magazine, so it's more sleek when you put them into the blaster. As for the Harrier, all the metal rail, the gunmetal gray aluminum on it give it a lot of flair. The only miss I think they did is this stock, to give it a more premium look. Maybe just a metal stock the same color of this with some of the rubber at the end would have been way more premium, but it would have put the price of the blaster up. But I gotta say, the feeling of this blaster, it's way superior than what I had with my Harrier. I didn't expect to love this thing that much. If I got one little complaint right from the start when I got it in my hand, is that grip. Not sure I like this trigger guard there. This thing really kind of dig into my finger. Since I got small hand, I really like to hold my blaster a little higher on the grip, but this hits on my finger all the time. Here, I can just hit it and it will soar over time. I know because it's the same kind of phenomenon I had with my Swift. The trigger guard of the Swift is very, very wide and it hits your finger. I would really have loved to see the same shape we had on the Harrier, where it was really better profile for the finger. But other than that, I think this is almost a superior blaster. It's made for lower caps, but this thing really feels like a superior blaster. The optic fiber sight on it, the short stroke is so smooth. It's awesome, and it seals better than my Harrier did when it came out of the box. So I am very much pleased with this blaster. I think this will be my new go-to primary with my long shot. I will tune this one a little higher and keep my long shot where it is right now. But I think I'm gonna start using this thing because I really love the feeling of it, even with the non-adjustable stock on it. But we know, even if it's not adjustable, this is a standard buffer tube. You just remove it, slap whatever stock you want on it, and you're gonna have a blaster to your taste. Like I said, this thing really reminds me of a Valkyrie, and it really feels like Worker take on the Valkyrie. The shape of it with the curved magazine will match the shape of the reverse angle talon, and if you look at them, grip to grip, magwell to magwell, it's the same profile. It's basically the same blaster. This is the Worker Valkyrie. This Seagull, it's amazing. It's like one of those things getting perfected, not copied by a Chinese company. They perfected the Valkyrie blaster and take it to their style. And that's awesome. I really dig it. Before we go any further, I want to try this thing on the chronograph. Both barrel, both spring. Okay, chronograph test for the Worker Seagull. I'm going to start with the short barrel and the short spring. I am then going to swap to the longer barrel. Then we're gonna swap spring and try both barrel on it. Little correction I said it was a 12 round. It's a 15 round curved magazine. That is rather short and I like it. First, let's fire like 10 round with this short spring, short barrel. That was not bad. Minimum 148, maximum of 158, and an average of 154.2. That is the short barrel, the short spring on this Worker Seagull. Now, 31 centimeter barrel with the short spring. Not exactly what I expected. It was slightly up, but not that much. Minimum of 150, maximum of 162 with an average of 157. Let me swap spring, then we're going to do another chrono test. I've put the 28 centimeter spring inside. We are done with the 25 centimeter. I have put back the 21 centimeter barrel. Let's try this thing now. More firm prime on it, but not harder. Okay, that's not bad. Really, minimum of 165, maximum of 170 with an average of 168. This is really a regular and balanced blaster like that. 31 centimeter barrel, 28 centimeter spring in the Worker Seagull. Not that much higher again. I was expecting maybe more, maybe to reach 200. I might have to tune that thing. I had 171 minimum, 180 maximum, and an average of 176, which is not bad. This is right about where I like to play my blasters. Well, this Worker Seagull, amazing performance, very regular. You can tune it to very small increment depending on what you change on it. I think maybe a couple more options in different length and barrel could be good for this blaster. I mean, something between the 21 and the 31 centimeter barrel could help a lot. But that said, I like the new magazine. I really dig the profile of this thing. And the lower FPS than the Harrier give this blaster a use and a place in Worker's lineup. Hear me right, this is really Worker's take on the Valkyrie with a straight Talon magwell on it. That's it. The stock is really reminiscent of what you have with the HQ blaster, the HQ CNC blaster. That's why I would have liked to have a CNC stock on it. But if you don't have a Harrier, I really think this one will be more for you, unless you really need the 300 FPS and more. Because the Harrier was more of a Retaliator / Swift replacement. This one is more like a new thing. A new, smaller blaster that Worker didn't really do at first. Yes, this thing is reminding us of the Prophecy. But still, the compactness of it, give it its own place. I really dig this one. If I got one complaint, and I say only one complaint on this blaster, will be this grip. I really don't like this little thing here that bumps in my finger, and I end up with my finger rubbing on this big trigger guard. I have the exact same problem with my Swift because the trigger guard is a little wide, and still I love it. But this one, it's like I need to stretch my finger to reach the trigger, and not really perfect. I might just remove this trigger guard, but I would have preferred to have the exact same molding as with the Harrier. Maybe not with the knuckle guard if you don't like it, but I do like it. But for here, it would have been a bit more comfortable. Other than that, this is a true home run. This is amazing. A little pricier than what you would have with a Unicorn, because this is kind of the same profile. A little better than buying, in my opinion, a 3D printed Valkyrie. I would say this blaster is made to please a lot more player, because you can really go from, let's say, 150 FPS, raise it up to 190, 200-ish. But this thing will be tunable and will give you option. Everything is there. We have a thick shell, we got metal rail, we got a smooth prime, return spring, a new magazine that for once is rather useful, because with the Harrier, the magazine was only for the Harrier. It was a really short, really cool Talon magazine, but that only fit one blaster. This thing will fit anything. I only wish Worker would bring them in like clear smoke color, clear red, olive dark. Luke, please offer those in clear with a clear red option, and I'm gonna buy a ton of those. I like those little 15 round. I know I said they were 12 round in the beginning, but they are 15 round, rather short profile. This thing is amazing. Little detail like the fiber optic sight on it gives this blaster a lot of flair. I really like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it that much, but yeah, I might use it a little more than I use my Harrier on the field. This is gonna be my new primary, I think. This is too smooth. The short prime, the short stroke on it is quite awesome. The seal is very, very good. I like this thing. Yeah, I think that's it for this small video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at ThatOldNerfGuy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to notify for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.